How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Countdown video. We only have 7 days left until the game's release on December 7th, and wow guys, can you believe that 1 week from today we are all going to have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in our hands? Because I really cannot. It feels like just yesterday we started this channel, and we had 145 days left, and now we just have 1 short week. We are in the home stretch, guys. We are almost there. Just remember, a week from today, we are all going to be playing Super Smash Bros., and that is what is going to get us through this. However, today we are going to be looking at another supposed leak. As always, and I cannot stress this enough, we have no idea if this leak is true or not, so make sure you guys take this with a grain of salt and realize that I'm talking about this just for fun. If you'd like to read along while I talk, you can find a link to the original post in the description bar down below, and now, with all that out of the way, I have to tell you guys where this leak came from. So guys, today's leak was sent in to me by someone on my Twitter, so if you guys ever have anything to send me, you guys can find a link to both my Twitter as well as my Discord server in the description bar down below. As of now, my Discord has over 2,600 members, and they're always talking about Super Smash Bros. All the time, so make sure you guys go ahead and join that up. But for now, the leak that we are going to be taking a look at is actually from a Discord server. Now, I'm not sure if it came directly from mine, however, it does come from Discord, so if you guys want to leave, go ahead and do so now, otherwise we are going to jump straight into this new leak. So guys, like I said, this link was sent in to me by someone from my Twitter, and it was a post on Discord, and it was posted by someone named DKC42. It starts by saying, "Alright. So from what I've heard, Nintendo didn't see the point in holding off on characters due to spirits. So, they made some choices that some people would think were deconfirmed. I know a couple of the characters they picked on their list. Whether or not Sakurai approved of them, I don't know yet. I'll get back to you on that. Steve, Banjo, and even Master Chief were on the list. They want to add a Microsoft rep of some sort, and those were apparently the 3 best choices for them. I've been told that they discussed potential fighters with third parties before making their list. Surprise, surprise, they talked to Square, and surprise, surprise again, they didn't cooperate very much. The most Square would budge was ironically Zeno. Nintendo saw the opportunity they had and took it. Considering Sakurai's past statements, I'm rather confident that he's in. Rayman was also on the list, but the rabbits were not. As for first parties, it's nothing too surprising. Bandana Waddle Dee, Porky, Edelgard, Elma, and Professor E. Gadd are all on the list for potential newcomers. There's a lot more characters from both first party and third party on the list that I haven't heard about, some for promotional reasons and others pulled from the ballot. So now that we've gone over the entire post, let's talk about it a little bit. So first of all, let's go ahead and talk about the claim that this guy makes in terms of spirits not deconfirming characters. At this point, I am still thoroughly convinced that spirits do in fact deconfirm characters, and if you guys don't believe me, I did make a whole video about why spirits do in fact deconfirm characters, so I'm going to leave a link to that in my description as well as my pinned comment, so that way you guys can go watch it and form your own opinions. But for now, we have no idea if this is true 100%, if spirits do in fact deconfirm characters in Ultimate as DLC, so for now, we are going to say that they don't, just so we can go over all of the characters on this leak. And then in terms of the other thing the guy said that I thought was pretty interesting, is that apparently, although Nintendo already chose all of the characters, he does not know which ones were chosen, but instead he knows which ones were shown to Sakurai, because as you guys know, Sakurai stated that Nintendo brought him a list of characters, and Sakurai was able to determine whether or not he could make a good moveset for them. Basically, if Sakurai didn't think that he could make a good moveset for the character, then he would have told Nintendo that he couldn't bring them into Super Smash Bros., and Nintendo would have had to just accept it. So first of all, let's go ahead and talk about the Microsoft characters. So at this point, the leaker said that there were 3 characters that were being talked about, those being Steve from Minecraft, Banjo-Kazooie, and Master Chief. So let's go ahead and talk about Steve first. It's no secret that as of now, Steve from Minecraft is probably one of the most likely characters to make it into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I say that because Minecraft is one of the biggest game franchises of all times, and people all over love Minecraft. Everyone knows who Steve is, and everyone knows who Minecraft is. Now imagine if they brought Steve into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it would be a great marketing move. people who play Minecraft would see that Steve would be in Super Smash Bros. And they'd be like, wow, I want to play as my favorite character, Steve from Minecraft. So they go out, they buy a Switch, they buy Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then they buy the DLC in Steve. So right away, it's a huge win for Nintendo because that person is spending close to $400 just so they can play as Steve in Smash. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about Banjo and Kazooie. So at this point, I think that Banjo is extremely likely to make it into the game as well, and here is why. So if you guys remember, a couple of days ago, I talked about all the spirits and how they were data mined, and in that data mining, they actually found the spirits of 2 other rare characters in the game, which proves Microsoft's involvement, as well as proves that Nintendo and Microsoft are currently on good terms. Not only that, Phil Spencer, the president of Microsoft, has said that he would love it if Banjo-Kazooie made it into the game. Banjo is extremely popular. A ton of people really love him. It was proven on the Smash ballot that Banjo was extremely highly requested. And finally, Nintendo renewed Banjo and Kazooie's trademark, meaning that they are either going to sell merchandise, make a new video game, or put his old video game on the Nintendo 64 Classic, or they're going to put him in Smash. And at this point, I have a feeling they're going to put him into Super Smash Bros. And finally, guys, in terms of the Microsoft reps, let's go ahead and talk about Master Chief. However, at this point, I think it's super unlikely that Master Chief is going to make it into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and here's why. First of all, I do understand that characters from M-rated games can make it into Smash, as we see through Solid Snake and Bayonetta, and I also understand that Master Chief is basically the face of Xbox, but I just can't see him making it in. At this point, there's just too much evidence pointing towards Steve because we already have crossplay for Minecraft between the Switch and the Xbox One, and also Banjo and Kazooie, just because their name was recently trademarked by Nintendo, so I feel like those 2 characters are going to be getting in before Master Chief. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about the Square Enix rep in Zeno, and at this point, guys, I am extremely doubtful of this. At this point, I think that there is just so much evidence pointing towards Sora that Zeno is not going to be the character from Square Enix. However, if he does make it in, that would be very cool. Now, I'm not saying there is not a lot of evidence pointing towards Zeno's inclusion, just because we do know that he's a fan favorite character. He got his own Mii costume in Smash 4, and Sakurai has stated before that he does want Zeno in the game. However, it's not Sakurai who's choosing the characters, but it is instead Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo is going to go for someone more like Sora or Lara Croft, just because those big names would really help sell consoles as well as games and DLC, so that's why I just can't see Zeno making it in over Sora. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about Rayman. Now, one of the most common arguments I see against Rayman's inclusion in Smash is 1, the Rabbids are more popular, and while I do agree to that to some extent, Rayman has been around a lot longer and people just seem to know who Rayman is. He had games on the Nintendo 64, the Wii, the Wii U. Rayman has been all over, so I don't really think that argument holds up. The other argument I commonly see is that now that Rayman is a character in Brawlhalla, there's no way he can make it into Smash, and that one I don't understand at all. There is no rule at all saying that a character can't be in more than one game, and Brawlhalla is a free game made by Ubisoft on the Nintendo Switch. It's not like it's made by some other big third-party company. Just because Rayman is in Brawlhalla, that really does not take away anything from him, and I have a feeling that Rayman will definitely be joining Smash this time around. However, guys, we do have to remember that if my theory of spirits holds up, and they do end up deconfirming characters, that means there's no way that Zeno or Rayman are going to make it into the game, along with a few other characters from the first parties, which we will talk about in just a second. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about the first party characters. So first of all, we have Bandana Waddle Dee. Now, there's a lot of evidence for Bandana Waddle Dee, and there's a lot of evidence against it. First of all, let's go over the evidence for it. As of now, we haven't gotten a new Kirby rep since Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which I think is a tragedy, considering Kirby is a game that Nintendo continuously tries to push. Even today, they released a brand new wave of Kirby Star Allies characters so that you could keep coming back and playing the game. It's no secret Nintendo loves Kirby, and I think that they are going to give them at least one more DLC character. Now, Bandana Waddle Dee is the permanent player for whenever you play a Kirby game like in Return to Dreamland or Star Allies. The main characters you have are Kirby, Meta Knight, King Dedede, and Bandana Waddle Dee, so I feel like he is definitely the most likely next in line to join Smash. However, Bandana Waddle Dee is also a spirit, so as of now, once again, if the spirits theory holds up, there is no way Bandana Waddle Dee is going to make it in, which is very upsetting. After that, we have Porky, and this is one I'm almost sure is going to make it in at this point. Next year is Mother's 30th anniversary, and as of now, we do not have a third Mother rep, especially a villain. Right now, we just have Ness and Lucas, and they are extremely similar, which is why I don't think Nintendo is going to make it in over Porky. Now, another thing that gives Porky some more support is he is one of the only bosses from Super Smash Bros. Brawl that did not come into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in any capacity. Given once again that Mother's 30th anniversary is coming up next year, it would make a ton of sense for Porky to join the battle. Next up, we have Edelgard, and this is a character that at this point I think is inevitable. Now, in the last game, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, we got Corrin because Corrin was used as a promotional tool for Nintendo to promote their new Fire Emblem game, and I feel like they're going to do the same with Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, I know nothing about Fire Emblem, and I'm not even sure if Edelgard is a main character. However, I see her name thrown around a lot, and I wouldn't be too surprised if she ended up joining the battle. After that, we have Elma, and Elma was one of those characters that I thought was going to make it in at the beginning on the base roster, but now I don't think she has a very good chance as DLC. As of now, to my knowledge, Elma is from a pretty old Xenoblade game, and not a lot of people know about her. I think that if they add a new Xenoblade character, it's probably either going to be Rex or Pyra, and before you guys say, oh, Rex already has a Mii costume, there's no way he's going to make it in. King K. Rool, Isabelle, and a bunch of other characters still have their Mii costumes in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so that argument really doesn't hold any weight. As of now, personally, I don't think I can see Elma making it into Smash, but if you guys have any reasons as to why she does have a chance, please let me know in the comments. And finally, the last character on this list is Professor Egad, and as much as I want this to happen, I seriously doubt that Egad is going to get in over a bunch of other characters. First of all, we have never seen Professor Egad fight. Now, I understand that that same rule applies for Duck Hunt and Rob and a couple other characters, but could any of you guys see Professor Egad running around fighting? Because personally, I could not. I think it would be super cool, but I don't think he's meant to be in Smash. Maybe he could be an assist trophy, but a fighter, and probably not. Now, however, Sakurai is a genius when it comes to character design, so maybe he could make a super unique moveset out of Professor Egad, and maybe he'll be top tier. We just are going to have to wait and see. However, guys, overall, do I believe that this league is real or not? Honestly, I do not. As you guys know, I am a firm believer that spirits do in fact deconfirm characters, and this list directly contradicts that, so as of now, I am going to say that this leak is fake. However, let me know what you guys think about this leak in the comment section down below. Do you guys believe that this leak is real, and would you be happy if it was? Why or why not? Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.